As every year, I have the responsibility and the privilege to draft some conclusions after the 2 days event. I'm sorry if I read, but it's impossible for me to actually draft the document and actually prepare a presentation at the same side, so it's going to be a bit more static. The conclusion of the Skillman International Forum 2025 reflect the results of the discussion we had in these 2 days, but also the work done by Skillman throughout the year in cooperation with its members and partners, the European Training Foundation and SIF. These conclusions build on the vision of a real and equitable lifelong learning system laid out in the Riga Declaration 2023, taking stock of the evolution of human capital context and how time has impacted on the value of our vision and the roadmap to get there. Discussions and recommendations laid out in the Skillman International Forum 2024 in Montecatini and in the 2025 Tibet Alliance Summit in Ancona allowed us to flesh out our vision and adapt the roadmap to the evolving context of our society. In the last 2 years, several negative trends, international instability, tariff wars,
it's becoming the baseline for getting and keeping a job. So, why all
but those necessary to face the increasing challenges to our beliefs and democratic values. Then there is something more positive and scarier at the same time, the AI revolution and its pervasive impact on all aspects of our life, starting with the capacity of human capital development systems to react and adapt to a completely different pace of change. At the heart of the Riga Declaration, there was the vision: building a learning society, implementing a real, equitable, lifelong learning system. We also refer to excellence for all instead of excellence for a few. And we were and still are confident this is at the same time the right thing to do and the necessary thing to do. The trends we identified, the need for strong key competence for all citizens to actively participate in the labour market and in the society are still there. Once again, what is now radically different is the pace of change. Where we saw the need to investigate possible change, we are now forced to act. What was a priority for rapid action, it has become the need of instantaneous change. There are countless aspects of human capital affected by the continuous development of AI. The most obvious is the increased unpredictability of current and future occupational standards and qualification. The importance of the means offered by AI integration in work processes is evolving from being the exception to becoming the standard. I'm not a smart employee because I effectively use AI. I'm unemployed if I don't. Most countries have efficient and effective processes to ensure the occupational standard and qualifications are updated regularly and reflect the need of the labour market. But are these processes flexible enough? Are they fast enough? Whatever was our own opinion on the topic, the AI tsunami is shaking the grounds of this discussion. Now, one of the reflections that comes out of the Skillman International Forum is broad, but I think an essential one. We need to have a holistic governance of the lifelong learning system. We cannot focus anymore on one small segment, being it primary education, secondary education, vet, tertiary, adult education. In particular, we cannot maintain a chasm between initial education and continuing education. Our societies and our economy cannot survive the current low levels of continuing education, and these cannot improve if two conditions are not met. First, everybody needs to be provided with the necessary key competence for continuously engaging in learning processes. Second, the lifelong learning system needs to be flexible, reactive, and modular. And most of all, it must be funded. Many countries, especially in Europe, are rightly proud of providing free initial education for all individuals. However, with the increasing importance of continuing education, the quality and inclusiveness of these systems is now challenged. We discussed one of the most important trends in lifelong learning, micro-credential, a new name for a form of learning that many countries have implemented for decades. The welcome fact is the fact the EU has elaborated a specific recommendation to frame it in a more structured context, aiming at expanding their use and making lifelong learning accessible and effective. We debated the issue of trust, highlighting the importance of finding a balance between structuring micro-credential in the context of NQFs, validated through strong quality assurance processes, and exploiting the disruptive, innovative force of bottom-up micro-credential development. We are not ready yet to assess the impact of AI in this area, but we can reasonably expect that the explosion in the micro-credential offer, an explosion in micro-credential offer, and we have to be realistic in dealing with it. The biggest challenge currently in the lifelong learning context in our country is the quantity of learning more than the quality of learning. In Montecatini, 1 year ago, we celebrated craftsmanship and artistic expression. We rebuke the idea that they are remnants of the past, while identifying them as dynamic forces shaping the future. History demonstrates that arts and crafts has always interacted with technological development, challenging and expanding its horizons. We therefore committed to a renewed understanding of creativity as the unifying principle linking vocational excellence, cultural heritage, and innovation. The AI revolution did not change this belief. On the contrary, we consider crafts as one of the sectors better suited to weather the AI storm. In the conclusions of the Allies Summit 2025 in Ancona, we underlined the importance of human capital development for economic growth and competitiveness. We identify entrepreneurship as the most important enabler of growth together with skills development. We talked about the importance of entrepreneurship as mindset as well as a set of hard competencies. We also allocated a big responsibility for Center of Excellence in providing services in these areas. Support to startups and entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship training, provision of strategic services to SMEs, and support to companies in the definition of upskilling and reskilling strategies to generate growth and reduce workforce layoff. We have tackled the issue once again this year, and we have put attention on the crucial role of TVET in promoting entrepreneurship. Numbers don't lie. The share of graduates becoming entrepreneurs is higher in TVET than in general and higher education. All speakers today highlighted the importance of companies' engagement in the entrepreneurship learning processes. Apprenticeship schemes, the use of business mentors, entrepreneurship simulations are all tools that must be integrated in theoretical entrepreneurship teaching. Once again, the impact of AI has to be taken into consideration. For entrepreneurs and would-be entrepreneurs, AI is a godsend. It significantly reduces initial costs of setting up businesses, deal with secondary aspects, and allow the entrepreneur to focus on the core business. It facilitates experimentation and prototype development, incentivizing potential entrepreneurs in acting and allowing easier access to external investments. Another topic that we address today, in continuation to the discussion started in Ancona, is mobility for growth. In Ancona, we focus on the importance of managing migration flows to maximize the benefits for all concerned actors, the sending and receiving countries, the migrants, the families, and enterprises. Yesterday, we talked more about the opportunity of international mobility for learning purposes. Generation of young people can now testify the impact of mobility in their skills development as well as personal growth. In this context, we take the opportunity to praise the role of Skillman as a historical hub for international mobility. Finally, we need to talk about the twin transition. This year, the Skillman Forum served as a reality check for the world performance against its own agreed sustainable development goals. It didn't go well. It was not a rosy picture. We are not aligning with most of the targets, and this means we still have not understood the magnitude of what we are facing and the importance of acting as soon as possible through an integrated, holistic approach. In both green and digital transition, we are talking about systemic changes, not sectorial changes. Every job is an environment job, was said yesterday. This simple statement gives an idea of the mental shift policymakers must implement. We have addressed the impact of AI across all the recommendations of these conclusions, but we can take the opportunity to underline once again the impact of human capital and the world of work of AI cannot be underestimated. All the stakeholders have to make the maximum effort to anticipate and get ready for what is going to come. We therefore congratulate Skillman for the launch of the Gen AI Academy, a very much needed initiative that I'm sure elicits the interest of all the stakeholders attending the conference. Thank you very much.